Close your eyes. Let whatever you were doing a moment ago settle behind you, like a coat dropped onto a quiet chair. Feel the air around you soften. Feel the day release its grip. Feel yourself breathing, not to stay alert, but to drift. Good. Stay right there in the warm, dim hush. Because tonight, we travel with Pushkin. But before we go deeper, tell me something. Where are you right now? What does the room feel like? How close is the nearest light to your face? And what time is it where you are listening to this? Is it late? Early? Is the world around you quiet? Or is it only you who has decided to be quiet for a moment? Hold that moment in your mind. Because this journey needs you to be fully here. Let it anchor you gently, like a fingertip pressing softly into the fabric of a dream, to remind you you're still in your body, while your mind begins to wander. Now, let's drift together. There is a faint hum in the dark. Just a whisper. The breath of a century turning its head. Let it come closer. Slowly. A snowfall begins to shape itself in the space behind your eyelids. Light flakes, silent as soft footsteps, glowing faintly, as if each carries a tiny candle inside. And through this snow, a figure approaches. His outline forms gently, not rushed, the way a memory forms when you try to recall a dream that mattered. His coat is dark and dusted with white. His breath curls into the winter air. His hands are stuffed into pockets, as if warming something precious inside them. This is Pushkin. Alexander Sergeyevich. Not a statue. Not a myth. But a young man. With a heartbeat warm enough to melt the frost around him. He does not hurry. He does not need to. This moment belongs to him. Pause here. Let the snow fall slower. Let the figure become clearer. Pushkin lifts his eyes to you. Mischief glinting. As if he already suspects. You've come a long way to meet him. And maybe he's right. Crescent Moon 2. A boy made of words and fire. Imagine a room filled with books. Not arranged. Not tidy. Just there. In soft piles. Like nests of stories waiting to hatch. Pushkin grew up inside such a room. Picture little hands floating through pages, touching ink, the way other children touched toys. He absorbed languages, like breaths. French, Russian, Latin. Words drifting into him, as though they recognized something familiar. In his pulse. He was not learning. He was becoming. A little boy. Standing at the mouth of a forest of stories. Listening. Waiting. Already choosing which paths he would walk first. Let this scene quiet down. Let it warm. Young Pushkin presses his ear to the silent world, and hears poetry. Weep and laugh. And breathe. Hold that image. Let it linger. Like the last flicker of a candle. Crescent Moon 3. The Lyceum, where his voice learned to run. Now the world brightens to the sound of youthful laughter, echoing through long hallways, lit by morning sun. This is the Lyceum. Pushkin's forge. Picture him. Thin, quick, restless. Moving through the corridors. Like a spark that somehow learned to walk upright. His friends trail behind him, trying to keep up with thoughts that leap from topic to topic. Like birds startled into flight. He writes everywhere. On loose papers. On backs of books. On anything that dares stay blank. For longer than a moment. His laughter is sharp. His wit quicker than a flame. And his poems, even the early ones, carry the scent of something new. A teacher watches him one day, and whispers to another, "He will either save us, or trouble you." The truth, of course, is that he will do both. Let the pace soften. Like footsteps slowing on a carpet, Pushkin grows. But he does not calm. His mind hums. Like a lantern with a shaking flame inside. And the world is beginning to notice. Crescent Moon 4. The poet who couldn't bow. Now the air grows colder. The shadows lengthen. The night deepens. Just a shade. Pushkin begins to write poetry that presses its fingertips against the edges of the empire. Verses about freedom. Bold, tender, unafraid. Verses that speak truths that autocrats prefer to bury under polished marble floors. But Pushkin doesn't bend. He writes anyway. And the walls listen. There are whispers behind him now. Boots echoing on stone when he walks at night. Eyes watching him at gatherings. Letters opened. Before they reach him. Pushkin shrugs. Laughs it off. Keeps writing. But the empire does not laugh. Exile arrives. Carried on the cold wind of official proclamations. Yet exile, strangely, is a gift wrapped in stone and silence. Because solitude is a soft room where a genius can hear himself clearly. Let the pace slow to a hush. Let the room feel wider, as if night itself wants to sit beside you and listen. Pushkin begins to write masterpieces as easily as exhalation. Imagine a desk lit by a single candle. The flame wavers gently each time the wind brushes the window. Pushkin sits before it, quill poised, eyes shimmering with ideas that glow. Before they reach paper, he creates work after work. Each one a river, cutting a new path through the landscape of Russian art. And then, in a slow, steady stream of ink, he begins Eugene Onegin. Every stanza is a footstep on a road no one has walked before. Every line is a seed that will grow into forests of literature. For centuries after his death, Pushkin does not know what he is creating. He only knows that the words arrive softly, brightly, and he follows them, as one follows a lantern's glow through a darkened wood. Let the candle flame grow warmer in your mind. Let it steady. Let it glow. Crescent Moon 6. Love, light, and the shadow behind it. The pace deepens. The breath slows. Pushkin falls in love. Hopelessly. Earnestly. With a heart too soft for the sharp world around him. Natalia. Say her name softly. It sounds like silk sliding through fingers. Pushkin adores her. And she adores him back. But the world around them breeds jealousy. As easily as winter breeds frost. Rumors swell. Whispers thicken. Doubts drift into salons. And settle on shoulders. Like cold dust. A letter arrives. An insult hidden inside. A polite envelope. A duel is demanded. Pushkin accepts it. With a calm that only a tormented heart could understand. Pause. A long one. Let it settle like heavy snow. Because this is where his story steps into shadow. Picture a field draped in pale winter light. Pushkin stands there, coat brushing the frozen ground, breath rising like soft smoke. He is not afraid. He is not ready. He is simply present. A moment. A shot. A world holding its breath. Pushkin falls. But his spirit does not dim. Not in that moment. Not ever. He speaks softly. In the hours that follow. To loved ones. To friends. To the life slipping from him. When he dies, the candle flame of Russian literature burns brighter, not dimmer, because his light did not leave. It spread. Let that glow warm the center of your chest. Hold it there, like a small sunrise. Let the room feel warmer. Let your breath soften into a slow tide. Pushkin's legacy is not a date on a calendar. It is not a memorial. It is not a statue that gathers snow year after year. His legacy is a pulse, a quiet thrum that runs through language, through imagination, through every story that dares to speak with clarity and courage.